G'day everyone, MasterAbbott here from CapsuleComputers.com.au. I'm going to be going through an early access game on Steam at the moment called ReturnState. Now the game is in early access, so there's not a lot of levels at the moment. The developer, I believe, has in its current state, it's a $9.99 price with approximately 4 levels, with the developer saying that he's working on about another 8 more, bringing it up to about 12. So ReturnState, I'll run through some gameplay. It's an action retro platformer, very similar to it looks like Castlevania and Mario and stuff like that, platforming style game. Very retro. It starts off quite easily, then it gets a bit complicated. Well, not complicated, but it gets a bit tricky. There's 3 different versions in the game, which is also really cool. There's 8-bit handheld, 8-bit, and 32-bit. What we'll do is I'll play the first level in 32-bit, and then we'll go and I'll jump back out and show you what the other one looks like. So I'll start like that, go into here. It's got a little bit of an intro. That's the main character. That's someone else telling him hello, and they need help. They basically said that the evil General Talk has invaded the world by opening portals through the Nether Realm. So this guy doesn't really care, but he knows that he does it. And they need someone to defeat the monster army and return their world back to normal. So quite simple, straightforward. There he goes. He's not really interested, basically. But they're basically saying that if you do it, we'll be eternally grateful and everything. He still doesn't care. So the ship, his ship doesn't run on gratitude. So basically, now they've spiced it up a bit. There was a bank freighter destroyed mid-flight while fleeing, and he can keep all the gems he finds. And now I think he's a bit more excited. There you go. So he's a bit more excited now. So he knows that if he's going to get money for doing the job. Alrighty, so he's happy to go. So that's the little bit of an intro at the beginning. Not much. Hopefully, the developer Jason, I think it's Cecil, can prepare, can maybe put a bit more story into the game. Now, as you can see, straightforward. You got basically 2 moves: jump and whip. All right, that's pretty much it. So very retro, even in 32-bit. Controls are very easy to move with, not complicated at all. Monsters, so far I've seen, there's not many of them. There's slugs. There's slugs running some sort of like a running animal, like a dog. There's these flying things which can get quite hard to kill if they run quickly at you. Plus, you've got to hit them at the right angle. And that's it. Gameplay-wise, quite smooth. I'll just run you through, like I said, just the first level, so you see what the gameplay is like. You can see it's quite simple, not complicated. Controls are very easy to use. I'm actually using my controller at the moment, and I find no lag with anything. So the game's quite quick, so it's not laggy. You can see on the top, right at the top, I've collected 60 gems at the moment, and those 2 little blue things there are health. Now, what I've noticed is that if you do die in the level, you do have to start again from the beginning of the level. So it does bring a bit of hardcore to the game, and there's no checkpoints or save points anywhere. So we just crossed over to the other realm, and we're taking on this, I don't know, this 4-legged or 3-legged monster thing. And runs for a while. Sorry, it's three-legged, that's right, my bad. He runs for a while with his eyes closed, and you can't hit him during this state. If you do, you lose a bit of health. And just like Mario, after three hits, this monster dies. And that's it. That's level 1. Level 2, very similar. Gameplay style works pretty much the same. Monsters do get a bit more complicated. So what I've also noticed is that the more coins, once you collect a certain amount of coins, like over 100, nothing actually happens. It goes back to 0. So hopefully something can be done about that. You can keep on collecting as many coins as you want, and hopefully use them for whatever you need in the game. I'm not sure what you're using them for at the moment. There isn't any shops so far, nothing that I've seen that is actually giving you a reason to want to collect them. Of course, you can collect them because, I don't know, this looks cool, but it doesn't really mean, hey look, I'm collecting all these coins, what am I going to get out of it? I don't know. Alright, so hang on, just jump back this way. Makes it easier sometimes. Some of these monsters are really not that smart. Some actually shoot back at you. And down the bottom here, you can see that you got some spikes there, which is a bit tricky. And those flying things can be a bit annoying, which is good. It gives a bit of challenge to the game. Music can get a bit repetitive. You can drop it down if you guys don't feel like it's exciting to listen to. As you can see, that's a flying insect thing. It's quite sneaky. Some of them fly pretty quickly. You gotta be careful. Like, of course, you can see you can get an understanding of how hard it'll get down the track. At the moment, the monsters are quite simple and straightforward to kill. Alright, so on the second monster, it seems like, oh, you just hit me. You can see that the second monster runs a little bit faster. Alright, got him knocked one more time. Yeah, he actually hit me, so I didn't notice that. But I think I was a bit close, so I could understand that. And on the third hit, knocked this guy out too. So, as we said, there's 4 levels. I'm not going to ruin it, so I'm just going to show you. What I'll do is I'll jump back out into the menu and go into settings. We got Windows mode as well. There's only two different resolutions in the game. Music, I'll drop it down a bit so you can hear me talk a bit more. Scan lines is cool. Actually shows like the old school style of the screen flickering and stuff like that. I'll put that back on now, and then I'll jump back into here. Let's see what I can see if I go back out right now. Scan lines is on. My bad. Sorry, my bad. And back out here. As you can see, that's the scan lines. You can see the scan lines are a bit funny. Okay, you can see that. And back into the settings, you really can't see. I can't show the actual different versions of the graphical interface until we quit. So what I'll do is I'll quit out. You can still see the scan lines. Alright, so if I change it to 8-bit handheld and start the game, we can skip all that stuff now. You can see it's 8-bit, quite cool. Brings back memories of Game Boy. Nothing's different. Everything else pretty much works exactly the same way, of course, with just 8-bit graphics, 8-bit handheld graphics, which is quite cool. Everything works exactly the same, no different, which you just basically saw me do before. Alright, and the next one that I can show you is it does make it a little bit harder to see a few things, especially with the top. I'm jumping up here and you can see. Oh, and I just fell off the cliff. Alright, that's good. So what I'll do is I'll just jump back out again, quit and select the 8-bit version. This is more so I don't know, Nintendo version, probably NES, family computer. Let's start that. Graphically it looks a little bit better than the 8-bit handheld. And there you go. This looks still pretty reasonable. Monsters are a little bit less colourful. Things are still there. There you go. So it's quite enjoyable as well. All three versions of the, you know, graphical versions of the game are playable, enjoyable. Music, as I said, can grind on you for a bit, but you know, what do you expect? It is 8-bit. Fun. So I would say, of course, the developer's got he's got a bit more work to do, of course. He's got to make a few more levels, of course, and maybe, hopefully, you know, add a bit more features to the game. I would say, you know, like, what are you gonna do with the coins? Can you use anything with the coins? Can you buy stuff with the coins? Upgrade your character, upgrade his weapons, stuff like that. That's just little things that I would suggest. Of course, anyone that, you know, enjoys these type of games wouldn't find any problem with, you know, running through this as like we would have done in the past. In old retro style games you can finish, you know, in a sitting. That's, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Because, you know, that's how the old Nintendo NES games were and the Game Boy games were. Can't have to get too technical. A few little features wouldn't hurt. But that's all I can think of. Oh, what am I doing? I told you I was supposed to jump over him before he stopped. Got carried away. Alrighty, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to stop playing now because I think we've all seen the type of gameplay and the style of gameplay. So what I'll do is I'll just jump back out to the main menu. And that's it. I was going to basically say here, with regards to this game, it's not for everybody, I guarantee it. As you know, I'm a retro freak. I love those old style games. I think this is fun. Of course, it does need a lot of work. It's still in early access mode, and the developer's working on another 8 levels, bringing it up to 12. There could be more. We don't know. Price tag of this ReturnState is $9.99. As I said, it's very simple action retro platformer, similar to, as you saw, the guy with the, you know, he's got a whip, looks like Castlevania, Mario Brothers. You can see it's got a lot of influence on there with a couple of the platform levels. So yeah, I would say if you're interested, pick it up. For me, I'm going to stick with the maybe buy, because it's not for everybody. And it's still in early access, and hopefully the developer can improve lots of different things, as I discussed earlier in the game while I was playing. You know, maybe add a store or stuff like that you can use the coins to do stuff with. But that's pretty much it. So I'm sticking with maybe. Might not be for everyone. For me it is, but it might not be for everyone. So therefore I'm sticking with a maybe. But yep, keep up the good work, Jason, and hope we see the full release of the game soon. Alright, so this is going to be live on Capsule Computer's YouTube channel, so if you like it, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, leave them in the YouTube channel below as well. Thank you for watching. I'm going to jump out right now, so thank you for watching. MasterAbbott is